sciences of music can be traced back to the late 1990s when the first Congress of this field was organized and many pioneering findings were launched. How were your expectations for the development of the field then?
That's such a good question. He wasn't born.
Exactly. I still have to start my PhD.
Actually, I started. It was funny because who would have said? I mean, none of us. No one was really. We dared to do it, and Marie was doing that too. She was younger, to study music, but already at that time, it was really a marginal field.
Yes.
So no, I don't think I would have. I could feel that the community was growing a little bit. Because we organized also in 2000s the next conference on music, and as Eckhart reminded us, we were only 50. Yeah. Today we are more than 600.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So not expecting much.
Yes and no. We knew, I think in 99, that there was a community. At first we were only 2 in the same city. Mm. It was in 86. Yeah. So it's 10 years later, we had students. There were a few interested in France, actually. Mireille Besson. There were a few.
Yeah.
Eckert, Alton Müller. Yeah. We knew the ones who were really studying brain and music. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what for you?
Well,
because you are the next generation.
I started my PhD in 99. I heard about New York. And then it was Venice, yeah.
When did you get your PhD?
In 2002.
Okay.
Yes. Then she's asking that we've just spent 4 days in an inspiring Neuromusic Congress in Helsinki. How would you describe the most important moment of the Congress?
For me, I don't know if it is the most important, but the most moving was the aphasia choir, and then the music band with the special needs, the rock band. And I think this is a big success also of, for me, it's seeing the impact of our studies in the society, because this wouldn't be possible like 20 years ago. No one would have proposed to have a choir with a aphasic patient. That would have been like, oh, why should we do this? And now, Teppo has been done great work based on other people showing bridges and the importance of music, bridges between music and language, and also with the rock band with special needs. It's about inclusion, and I think for me, it's the true reason why I do this, to bring back music into the
community,
into the community, into social life, which has been sort of disappearing the last 100 years, also due for technologies and things, and bring back people together around music, singing and playing, and any type of people. And this is, for me, I don't know if it is the most important, but it's clearly was extremely moving. And for me, it's really important and give us the sense of why do we do this? Just to learn where in the brain something is happening. Maybe we could say who cares somehow, but to see this, no, then cares.
I'm so happy to hear that. You know about my project with the new immigrants.
Yes.
Huh? So it's again in the same direction. You see, it's independently. We are creating choirs. We did study choirs of aphasics before, not at the level of Teppo Sarkamo, but we did that on a smaller scale. We do have these kind of choirs. We have had them for 20 years, I think, but we didn't study them. And now we are creating new choirs choirs with new immigrants. With the same idea of also facilitating communication, not only inclusion, integration, but communication. I like the fact that it was a highlight for you.
Yeah, things that were not imaginable somehow. For instance, in Marseille, we created an orchestra with children with a cochlear implant. That would have been impossible. Like 20 years ago, people would have said, "Oh no, music and cochlear implant don't go together." It's just really the enemies. It's like music and aphasia or something. But now we show that this is not only possible, that's actually good for people, for integration, and for healthcare.
What about your highlights?
Well, I'm so happy to hear that. See how interesting it is to do that together. For me, it was the revelation of Daisy Fancourt. I never heard about. I knew about her work through the World Health Organization, but she is astonishing. It's stunning. No, that was, for me, it was like, where is she coming from? She's 34.
Another planet, yeah.
Yes, working from them. That I didn't know. But that's, of course, scientifically, but it's also a woman, very young, and already with a leadership that is so clear. I don't think I've seen that. Nope.
She was amazing. Yes. The last question is about the future. How do you see the key topics in this field developing in the future?
Key topics, I think there's a lot of, in the poster session, there's a lot about interpersonal coordination. There's a lot about rhythm that leads to, making things together, and also the new technologies allow now to do more ecological things, so we're not anymore listening to pure tones that we've been doing, or MIDI files, and now it's real music, and then it becomes two people making the music together, or people experiencing orchestras, and so I think that we'll see more and more in this direction. Also, technologies now, they allow to make multiple measurements, to synchronize multiple measurements, so maybe in a few years everyone will be recording choirs with EEG, and analyzing data with sophisticated things. So I like this idea of going really towards what music is, because after all, we've been struggling sort of, using small stimuli. Everyone was aware, but we had our limitations, and then things moved on, and the theory and the technologies, they moved together so that we are able to study this in more ecological condition. I think it's important, and it's going to happen. It's happening already. It's right there.
And to follow up on this is the fact that we do see that, and Daisy Fancourt was clearly representing that movement in health-related settings. So not only in cochlear implants or aphasics or even immigrants, but also in the hospitals. It's going to be used a little bit more, let's hope. I think so, especially for pain. And also in education. We're going to have a symposium on education, but it remains a very big issue, especially, in Finland it is exemplary, I suppose, relative to music, is it?
Yes.
Or was it?
But it's changing.
Yeah, I would say it was.
It was, yes.
Yes, but it's getting worse all the time for many reasons, and one of the main reasons is the entrance of the teacher students. So the types of people we get for the
everywhere.
Yeah. So they didn't have a musical background, and they don't want to sing, and they want to be teachers. What do you say about that?
Now, luckily in Canada we have a different kind of training or curriculum for music education. So there are musicians who decide to be educators on the top of it. My son is a music teacher. And so they are specialized for music. But then the school has to make time for them. And it is expensive also, relative to theater. So they have to share the time and to be... But I think the research we are doing is helping them. I'm really optimistic. And that's what we need to do. It's just to use evidence-based research. And with all those mobile facilities, and that's one way to do it too. But we really have to apply a little bit more a scientific approach to what is happening in the schools and what is happening in the clinical settings.
Yeah. I think Finland is still doing quite well in terms of actual music educators. So we have the musical play school system, which is really popular for small kids. And then also the music teaching in schools is good level, but not good amount anymore because they are decreasing the number of hours. But the main problem is just the class teachers.